Tia mami musa ose honemo etesen yes oba de ada roma de nkwane ahoden ahye baby bia ye obia education minister ena de na sesronko ama kane mampani John Dramani Mahama ene na ban a etwem ko ese anamotu a wotu ebo madia fa se no ye wo areas bi ho a schools eni ho enti buhwe baby ankwada ni free omoko schools na eyade e hadwe papa nti wabɔ mmɔden ɛde abasobɔ ɛde ama se wotimi dadwene no hu se no yenkosi schools yen establishing new secondary schools ɛwɔ hɔ a enti ɔde abasobɔ soronko ɛma wo afi nsama ɔka ne se in fact ɔno ɔyɛ MPP ni nanso hu se anamontuo na omutu yi no ɛyɛ ade pa aboa Ghana yɛ wo masua papa titiriw ɔse wohwɛ baby a school bi hɔ a baby esi no ɛyɛ ade aboa na ɔmode nkwada ne bi asan kwaka ho a aboa ma free SHS no akona nim papa ebi won so omusi no baby a school no baby a ewo no so ka say ye day a ade a na che say ade a ebe ha adwen nti won ono ne na ban so abomode e de dormitories e de akwaka ho asese enye community day biem ne mum fully boarding school a wabo kane mampani John Dramani Mahama Epo bi kra ason kane mampani late Professor John Ivan Fifi atamelson so wabo wana baso paase anamotuo na wotu yi no eyade a eye na aban bia tu sa na mo na eye on say ye shocking wo hwe NDC na MPP amamuo mu a we money on kwa baso we condemn no we but we de o say obeye no kwafo a sa na mo na ampanifo tu ye no eyade a aboa oman ye wo masua papa ye hwe sa adwumadi bra na one stakeholders bi ehia na omo dwenwene school hon sensem awo man mu ne mpuntuo ne kankon ye hwe emra ye ba ye beto aso.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison, former Minister for Finance and former Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Adutwum. It's an honor to see you in person. I've seen you on TV many times on TV. Distinguished members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, not forgetting your CEO and president who are doing a fantastic job. Managers of various banking institutions, the choir, and the friends from the media. Invariably, we ignore you, but we see you. You are in red. And you sing so well, so you ought to be recognized. It's indeed an honor to be here today. Minister for Education at Institute of Bankers event. First of all, we chartered you. When it comes to your institute, you come under us. So when you were talking about the great job of your executive and how you got chartered, you forgot that Ministry of Education took you to cabinet and got you chartered and gave you all the legal authority to regulate your field. That's why I'm the one who inaugurated your board, right? You didn't recognize me for all that. I knew I was going to be the last person to speak, so I have the time to correct all the past wrongs. Very excited today to see the kind of work you are doing and all the intricacies of your job. See, the closest I've come to banking is entering a banking hall and speaking with a bank manager and doing some banking transaction. So I can't claim to know a lot more about your industry. But one thing I know is that you want this nation to prosper. Because without prosperity, you have no job. If we don't have a robust middle class that is transforming the fortunes of this country, where is the money for you to do your banking? And I know that you also have said something is profound here, human capital development. So I know you focus on your organization and how you develop the human capital at that point, but don't forget the pipeline is critically important. The kind of people who are coming to you are going through kindergartens, primary schools, high schools. What they know is going to influence who they become in your profession. So you can't talk about getting a critical thinking banker when you don't have a critical thinking student going through your school system. You do your very best, but by the time they get there, it's a bit too late. How do you get people coming into banking from unbanked communities without caring about education in the Zongos and the rural communities? How do you get people who work collaboratively with colleagues and be team players and critical thinkers and creative individuals and effective communicators if we are not looking at an education system that produces what we call the 4 C's? So at the end of the day, the journey to become a great banker begins from kindergarten. And it doesn't belong in the kindergarten of our children because they will have better opportunities. But when we talk about unbanked communities and the children growing up in those communities, if we don't change the education system there and get them to become part of this banking community that you find yourself in, those people are not bringing the unbanked community into banking because nobody knows the banker in that community. So it's in your interest that we improve education in this country. We transform the public education system that all of you have fled away from. When it's at the kindergarten and primary school, junior high school, we don't see you. Ethics. See, when it's legal, it's very easy for it to become part of your ethical code of conduct. But the gray area, where you have to decide whether to tell a customer a certain product is better for them or not, that is where the ethical judgment becomes even crucial. As a politician, my ethical judgment is when I look at how can I serve Ghana better. And how can I do the kind of things that will help transform the fortunes of this country so that this country will be better than I came to find it. So I've created my own ethical judgment when I began to look at schools and say, Ghanaian children deserve better. So when you look at the fact that the President of the Republic pledged to do free senior high school, I was there in America when I heard him talking about free senior high school, free senior high school. One day I was so fortunate to see him at my school in Los Angeles. He came to visit LA and decided to come to my school to see what I was doing there. Came and saw my students and teachers and all the work that was going on. He asked me, would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? I was saying to myself, this man don't know me. He doesn't know where I grew up and where I've come. Come all the way to America, enjoying the American dream, and you want me to come back to Ghana to help you change the education system. My father was a cocoa farmer in a village called Adutwum in Manso, Memphis. You walk 10 miles to get to that village. So from Manso, you walk 10 miles. There was no car going there then. And from Adutwum, you walk 2 miles to get to my father's village. It was called Nyamebetre. When I passed the common entrance, and my dad was always saying, you go to school, because he didn't go to school. He wanted me to go to school. And then I passed the common entrance. I needed 40 cedis to go and pay my deposit at that famous school called Jachi Pramso. So, 40 cedis. Where was he going to get it from? He tagged me along, visiting his friends. He was a chief farmer. From village to village, asking his friends, can you help me with some money? My son needs to go to school. No money. It was September, cocoa season. There was no money there then. I always say my dad was not poor, but he had a cash flow problem. In September, there was nothing in his pocket. Eventually, it's my younger brother who saved me when one day in the evening, 3 weeks before school was about to open, he felt so bad for me, and he said, brother, I feel so sad for you. You are not going, therefore we won't go. So I have a pig, a big one, in the village. My uncles have given this pig to me. If we sell it.
Okay, yes. Ono gusu church ni nsem no. Enti na che se enoma no gusu a ekoso pa. Ye hwe bra na obo NDC kanema mpani abaso no. Ye hwe eho no kakra no mepese ye hwe ho kakra no. Fact ade a eso eni pa. Ye nsan hwe ho ni biem. Ye nkoyechi ye nsan hwe ho ni biem. Nsema okafa kanema mpani dada eho.
Dr. Adutwum, it's an honor to see you in person. I've seen you on TV many times on TV. Our worst enemies. President Mills Mahama built the E block. So, I'm an MPP, I should say E block is a bad thing. No. It's a great edifice, suitable for a high school. If you put it in the right community, like in an urban area, students flock into them. So you see Domi Kwabenya, Frafraha, Nkumase, Agrekenzima, they are filled with students. We've even added more to them. So I should say they are bad because it was done by NDC. No. But if they are in a location like Adansia Peja, a rural community with one junior high school, then I will say it was...
Yes. Yes. Education Minister and our ten in Kano. Say, sir, or ye NPP nini nchese. Se NDC ni ya de na ya mayenka tabi. Se wo ye NDC ni chese NPP ya de a mayenka. Ene ni ya de a ho man, ene ni ya de a pra o man. I wish say papa ya dwene. Ni padodo na benya sa dwene ni bi. Ni padodo na cause adwene we ye trim no. Ase NDC ni hu se MPP ni ade yenye, MPP ni hu se NDC ni nye. Oh. Ghana yami hu ya mobo. But Mr. Education Minister yami shall for once in fact. Why are there? Why are there pa say utimi ebo sampenifui abaso ene mana mo tubia utu de boa Ghana wo masua no fat yami nshira pa se wase kire wo se aka no kre no e de akire nipa obusua se uni ya ade na ya ka wate o ya ade na se ya ka o ya ade na ya ka because waka ensehwe sa sisi ono bo abaso minim sa na echina onu su ni ho na oya ade pa bia obi so ba obeso ba bebo abaso sa na o man ye na yatim ubo ma abaso na ma bo abaso ni ye nyina ye kurukura ye ho ye de ko na mu me koye se oh na obaye bi anye ye ntimi nkoye nim aso man ina ye moa ni ye mpege o man omanu wu mesua eyade ehia pa sendis na beye MPP na beye se hwan na beye education ye fanya politics oman ode na education eye politics no man ni daachi enti utie education minister wakas na say si ebenya bankers papa ji si enye schools papa because schools papa no na betete enkwada papa mama beye bankers bia beye lawyers bia beye all the enyuma hodo a engineers ne nasefo papa because yenye school papa man tete nkwada papa no matter the institution obesesi wono ebeji egu because yenye ni papa eneto a wadwene enye papa a wonya ntete papa entime mo mine nkoso ba yenya enni papa school papa ewo areas a ombetime gromu quality student ne abaye quality workers. Education minister Yamin Shrao say na one bankers ene na ehia there but still no you manage say ube project on mine education e dey akọ ade John no mani Mahama Yamin Shrao former president I was when ya baby echo Ira Evans at Thomas baby I will be a yame on for cry in see Sansa Akumamu fine now the best small may. Yamin Shrow or no bois. Was ya, me did the Bensa Brampa, Macrow.